Hey black belts, today we're going to talk about some takedown combinations. We're going to work on our Yunhua, and then I'm going to introduce you to another takedown that we haven't worked on too much and work that into a combo as well. So takedowns, forms, takedowns. Let's jump into it. So we're going to review our inside leg sweep and our hip throw. So the way it's going to work, I've got my partner. Let's do it once. I'll show you on a partner, and then we can work on doing it solo. So we're kind of squared up. First thing is my inside leg sweep. So I'm attacking this one right here. I'm going to step and step. When I do that, got to make sure that I make contact with my partner enough that they want to step backwards. When he tries to take that step, I'm going to try and catch that foot, and we're going to go down. Okay? So I'm going to step and step. I'm going to hit him. Foot comes around. I'm going to hook. If I can pick it up, great. If I can just trap it, that's great too. And I'm going to lean towards that foot, dropping my partner down. If you are practicing at home, it's very important, and I'm sure you're aware, but it's very important that we make sure that our partner knows how to break fall. Okay? Hips, shoulders, hands, no head. All right? So let's do it solo real quick. So I'm tied up with my partner. I'm going to step. I kind of have a T or an L going on with my feet. My hips need to be pretty close to the front. I'm going to make a circle with my big toe, trapping that foot or picking it up. As you lean forward and they start to fall, you can sometimes pick that up, and we'll drop down on top. The other technique that we already know is our hip throw. So let's try that just real fast. When we do our hip throw, I want my feet to be kind of mirroring his feet, but on the inside. I also want my body to be lower than his, my center of gravity, my hips. My hands, this hand's going to come back, and my other one's going to go to the back. So if I do it nice and slow, I'm going to step, hand switch, pull him in as I drop down, then pick my feet up, and I'm going to turn and look away to drop my partner. If I do it a little bit faster, and I'm going to try and help him down by catching some of that weight so I'm not just dropping my partner. Now, if I am fighting with Mr. Craig and I just try and go for a hip throw, it's very possible he's not going to let me do that, right? That's a little bit challenging. So we're going to kind of work on a combo. He's going to get out of the first one, and I'm going to try and get him on the second one. So very common is when I do this inside leg sweep, he's going to try and step out of it. When he steps out of it, he can fall two directions. He can go forwards or backwards. Side to side, he's got a foot there, so it's a little bit harder. So I can either, maybe I can do a back sweep and drop him down, or I can do hip throw and drop him forwards. So when I do this, it's a little bit different than standard, because normally I'm here, so I only have to turn that far. I'm here this time, so I have to go a little bit farther, so I'm going to kind of step and hop and kind of make some adjustments so I end up in the same place. Let's do it solo once real fast. So I'm here. I'm going to step, sweep, they step out, and now we have to go a little bit extra far to bring them over. Let me show you what it looks like on a person. So if I step, they'll step out, up, and help my partner down. So I want you guys to practice that, either solo or with the person. If you're doing it with a person, please be safe. We don't want to drop them anywhere hard, and also if they're a lot bigger than you, we don't want them to crush you if you're picking them up either. So we just got to make sure we're being careful. If you're doing a hip throw, they don't have to come up and down nice and pretty. You can throw them off to the side and they can just fall. That's totally great. You don't need to get them head over heels or anything crazy like that. Okay? So that is our initial takedown combo. We're going to work on another combo here in a minute, but let's jump into our Yunhua. So let's review the first part, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we're Chumi stance. Our foot comes in as our hands come together. We're going to step out into a big riding stance. For me, I'm standing pretty much where one of the squares are on the mat, kind of double shoulder width maybe is what you're looking for. It's going to come around, hands cross, elbows bend, and break. And this is the first step of our form, so it needs to be good. So practice, practice, practice. It needs to really make a statement. If you're at a tournament, everybody in the room needs to be going, who's that person? Okay? So you need a nice confident kia. You need sharp eyes, just like staring at the judges, make them wish, oh, I feel uncomfortable. And just give them the eyes, okay? So let's try it, and let's focus on that first step. Make sure it's as good as we can get it. Ready? And go. Kia! All right, give them these. All right. Now once we're here, we're gonna turn. Make sure we have good stance. We don't want any bad stances in our form. If there is, we're not winning. Hands come up. The other one comes around. That stance switches, fold, and block. From here, we're gonna break, punch, break, break, and break. Now, this is the new steps we learned last class. We're gonna punch, and we're gonna high block. Hand comes across your body, open-handed high block, and our stance switches at the same time. So, I break, punch, break, break, break. All right? Our stance switches a lot here. I'm gonna switch, punch, and then I'm gonna switch, high block, and I'm gonna switch, punch. Now this hand's already prepped and ready to go. So it was here, it's just gonna slide back. Now, chop, other one's all ready now, and chop. Back down to our waist. Let's try that one more time. It's pretty complicated. I'm gonna turn around, and we'll kind of see how it goes. So we're here, step in, come out, and here. Turn. Hand comes up, other hand comes around, fold, block. Break, punch, break, break, break. From here is the new stuff. We're gonna punch, stance switches. We're gonna high block, stance switches. Then punch again. Hands all prepped and ready, chop. Hands all prepped and ready, chop. Okay? Let's do it one more time. We're gonna go a little bit faster, maybe a medium speed, and I want you guys to follow along with us. Ready? Yeah. And go. Kia! It's a challenging form. There's a lot of steps. It's very cool, it's very flowy, but it's not as much pattern as we're used to. So it just takes a little bit of memorization, but the more you practice, the better we'll get. All right? Now, last thing we're going to talk about is our drop seoi-nage and a combo for that. Our drop seoi-nage is an arm throw, but it's a drop because we're going to drop down and pull our opponent with us. So let's learn the basics real fast. So we're going to start in our tight position, squared up. From here, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to bring either this whole forearm, or I'm going to slide back to the wrist, to my body as I step in, and I want my feet to come in where his are. And my hand is going to come under, and I'm going to talk to the hands. All right? I have to leave it here because it's rude if I move away. Other foot comes in. I want to drop my level at the same time and come up. Now that would be kind of our standard arm throw. Let me try that one more time because it wasn't as pretty as I wanted. Here. Okay? We're going to be doing a drop, which is a little bit different. So Mr. Craig's feet are going to be open a little bit wider for whatever reason. Maybe he's got a wide stance. Maybe I attacked one of his feet and he stepped out. And we're going to be doing a drop. So the hands are the same idea. With the feet, though, I'm going to be jumping between his legs, dropping down to my knees, and then kind of like I'm doing a bowing motion to pull him over the top. Let me show you guys first, and then we'll kind of go through it. Well, let's go through it. So, hands, like I said, are the same. So I'm here. Hands are going like this. But this time, do you mind opening those a little bit wider for me? Especially if you're practicing at home, have your partner open their feet up. You really don't want to land on their toes. It's not going to be good for you or for them. I ideally want to land with my knees right in front of his toes. All right? So I'm going to drop something like this, and I'm going to go down and over the top. If I've secured the upper portion of his body well, it's going to be very hard for him not to go with me. And however much I weigh, he's holding with his two arms essentially, and it's pulling him down. So unless he can just like hold like 200 pounds instantly without being prepared for it, he's going to bend over, and I'm going to drive, and he's going to drop. So I'm here. I'm going to go a little bit slower. I'm going to step through as I'm dropping. Hand comes up, drop, keep him with me. Shoulder goes down to the ground. Doesn't leave a lot of room for him, and he's going to go. Now, I want you guys to practice this. You can practice either solo, just doing the same hand drill on the feet. But one issue that we have a lot of times is that if I just go for that move, sometimes I'll get it, but sometimes I won't. And how do we get their feet open like that? Sometimes their feet are just open, but a lot of the times it's because we're doing a combination. So we talked about our inside leg sweep earlier, and that's a perfect setup for this move. So let's give it a try. I'm in my my tie-up. I'm going to step, and I'm going to hook the foot. He's going to step out because he doesn't want that. And he has to step big, otherwise I'm going to catch that foot here. So he's got to step real big like that. Now when he does that, check out the feet. It's exactly what we're looking for. I can either take him backwards or forwards, and because we're working on drop seoi-nage, I'm going forwards. So he's here. From that position, I've got to get the arms. The hard part for me is I have to do more than a 180. I have to do a 180 plus another 90, which is
270.
And I'm gonna land right here, hopefully, to do my takedown. Let's do it one more time fast because it looks cool. And Mr. Craig needs one more break fall in his day. Let's do it. That's all right. So you might not get him over. I have to turn 270 like we said earlier, so there's a lot of spin going on in that one. So maybe they don't go over quite as much, they go a little more sideways, but it's all kind of the same idea. As long as he's on the ground, I'm pretty happy. Okay? So you can practice by yourself, you can practice with a partner as long as they know what they're doing, they're safe. We're break falling, we're on a soft surface. Keep practicing, we'll get a little bit better every time. Let me see Chumi stance. Hands, feet together, and bow.